You know Spellcheck, right? That little red squiggle that saves you from embarrassing typos? Well, what if I told you that there's now basically a spell checker for entire buildings? Today, we're diving into how AI is preventing million-dollar mistakes before they even happen. So let me just ask you this. What if a simple typo, a tiny error, could cost $1 million? Sounds pretty crazy, right? But in one major industry, that's not an exaggeration at all. It is a constant, high-stakes reality. Yep, we're talking about construction. In that world, a tiny mistake on paper can spiral into a massive, eye-wateringly expensive problem once the concrete gets poured. And the wild part is, this kind of thing happens all the time. Okay, so let's get into the heart of the problem here. These costly mistakes and the hidden risks lurking inside blueprints. And just to be clear, this isn't about bad designers or architects. It's about the sheer, mind-boggling complexity of it all. So you see this number on the screen, 10 to 100x. What does that mean? Well, that's how much more expensive a mistake becomes once building has already started. An issue that's just a few mouse clicks to fix during the design phase can cost 10, 50, even 100 times more to fix out in the field. I mean, we are literally talking about the difference between this simple digital edit and having to tear down an actual wall. And here's the really crucial part. It's not usually one single catastrophic mistake that causes all the trouble. No, the real danger is what you could call death by a thousand cuts. It's thousands of these tiny, quiet errors, little inconsistencies that are almost impossible to spot when you're looking at things one by one. So what are these quiet errors? Well, you might have a dimension for a window on one page that just doesn't match the dimension on another. Or maybe the specifications doc calls for one type of material, but the drawing shows something totally different. And these aren't just about money. Missing fire and safety details could have, really serious consequences. Or even something as simple as a call-out that points to a detail drawing that, well, that doesn't even exist. And you can totally see why this stuff slips through the cracks. I mean, just imagine you're an engineer. Your job is to manually check a project that has, say, 500 to 2,000 separate PDF pages. You have to somehow hold in your head how every single detail connects to every other detail. It's just an incredibly exhausting and error-prone process. No human can do that perfectly. But this is where technology is stepping in. We're seeing a new line of defense emerge, the AI plan checker. So what is it? Put simply, it's an AI agent that's built to do all that exhausting work automatically. It reads and cross-references the entire set of documents, every drawing, every detail, every spec, to find all those little quiet errors before a single shovel ever hits the ground. And the difference is just, it's night and day. A manual review can take days, sometimes weeks. The AI does it in minutes or hours. A human has to try to keep track of thousands of pages in their head, while the AI can cross-check the entire set all at once. It's the difference between a tiring, brittle process and one that is tireless and completely systematic. Okay, so how does it actually work? I mean, how does an AI even learn to read something as complex as a blueprint? Let's break it down, from pixels on a screen to spotting real-world problems. It's really just a four-step process. First, you upload everything, the whole project, every last PDF. Second, the AI gets to work analyzing it all. It's not just looking at pictures, it's actually understanding the geometry, the text, the symbols. Then, step 3, it does the superhuman part. It cross-checks everything against everything else. And finally, step 4, it spits out a report flagging all the potential issues it found for a human expert to go and review. Now, here is the key that makes this new generation of AI so different. It's the ability to understand context. Instead of just following a bunch of hard-coded rules, this AI can read a drawing in a way that's much, much closer to how a human expert would. This is a massive leap forward. The old automated tools were built on rules someone had to write by hand. So if one firm called an item a door and another firm called it a portal, the old system would just break. These new AI checkers, though, they use what are called multimodal models. That just means they can understand from context that door and portal probably mean the same thing. They don't need to be pre-programmed for every little difference. So this all brings us to the most important part of the story, the real-world impact. This isn't about replacing architects and engineers. It's about augmenting the expert, making them even better at what they do, which leads to smarter and, crucially, safer buildings for all of us. I absolutely love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. The goal isn't to replace design judgment, it's to help professionals not miss the obvious stuff. That's it right there. The AI is amazing at catching the obvious stuff that are so easy for a tired human eye to miss. But the really critical design judgments, the creative problem solving, that all stays with the human experts. So, in a nutshell, the AI's role is to be a superhuman proofreader. It's a tool that catches coordination problems and code issues way early in the game. It flags the potential risks, but the final call is always made by a licensed professional. It's about making our experts even smarter, not replacing them. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought to chew on. We started with spell checkers for words, now we have them for buildings. So if AI can help with a process this complex and this critical, what's next? What other incredibly detailed, high-stakes professional job is about to get its own superhuman proofreader? It's a wild thing to think about.